me, Nesser! Hey, it's me, Nesser. Welcome to Nesser Pod. This is where I dive a little deeper into some of my guests' lives. Sometimes we dive a little too deep, other times we stay on the surface vibing. Either way, come along on this journey. I hope you enjoy this episode.
But you know when you asked me the question in Meta about mentor, I was literally looking at you like this.
Yo, I was like, bro, tell the people.
I was like, no, I'm talking to
Where's she chatting to me? Calm. I was like, where's she chatting to me like that?
And you know, I think I was so comfortable as well because if it was anybody else, I don't know why.
Yeah, because
But I felt your question because I was like, oh my God, it's when I started out, I wanted a mentor as well. And it's something that was so personal to me. So that's why I was I felt like I was just telling you and nobody else.
Because the other guy didn't really answer my question. He didn't really answer any questions straightforwardly. He just kind of said whatever he wanted to say.
Yeah.
But it was like everybody was talking about their own thing. And I think I'm kind of on a vibe right now about building. Right? Like, and I think like even when we met at the 0207, I'm even wearing it today, man. Repping the man them. But it's like, I just felt that sense of community. Yeah. And like, I come from a background of like I used to play football, I don't know. Well, I try to figure that out. Somewhat, do you get me? So it's like I'm used to teams. I'm used to being around people, and I feel like trying to do this creative thing, trying to be on a different wave. Like I feel like there's a level of individuality about it, but I think that's not needed right now in the scene. I don't think the scene is nobody's above the scene, and the people who are above the scene can't be here because it's like. There's nothing for you to benefit from here. Do you get me?
That's true, yeah.
But they need to be here. Yeah. Do you get me? Like, they need to be around for there to be a scene because we have big artists, we have big people, but there's no scene. Like, there's no, like, infrastructure. Do you get me? We just have random people that would connect themselves to the scene, and it's not their fault, but I feel like the majority of us should be on a vibe of, like, okay, I'm doing this individually. How can I connect with you? How can I connect with this person? And I felt your vibe on that, like, and that's why I wanted to ask you that question. Yeah. Because I felt like your interview or because you are the panelist at the Black at Creators.
Black Ads.
A lot of words, bro.
Ireland.
But it was like I just felt like everybody's story was very individualistic, and it's like I know that that's not the case. So it's like I just want to know. It's like from people who are doing well, what's the next step for us?
Yeah.
Do you get me? Because you can never, like, this show, and I want to say this here, like, this show is not bigger than the scene. Like, this has to grow with the scene. So as people are growing, I want people that are growing on this couch. I want people who are bigger than the scene on this couch to bring attention to the scene. Like, it's Nesser Pod, it's me, but it's like, I want it to be a staple for people in the scene. So that's kind of where we're working at. That's why I was like, I really want to chat to you because it's like, you're doing a bunch of different things, so I want to see how that, you know, comes together.
Yeah, do you know what? Like, I respect that. I respect that a lot because a lot of people here always want to do individual stuff. And, like, I'm somebody who grew up in community, do you know what I mean? Like, I told you my story at Meta. Yeah. It's like, I come from a poor country, and even worse, like, the poorest area in my country. And like
Lilongwe, Malawi.
Yeah, Lilongwe, Malawi.
Quick geography lesson for you, man.
Malawi, and my area is called Area 25, and like people who will look it up and stuff. It's like a little village. Yeah. And we grew up with community in that sense because like everyone around us, like you would just see somebody coming into the house, coming to get sugar, like coming to, you know, like that's the kind of community. We all help each other around. Like my grandma built like little houses outside our house, like little rooms and stuff, to help like the girls around who actually there's no electricity around us, you know. So my grandma worked so hard, like only house around us who has electricity. Yeah. So it's like, okay, it's just us, but how do we help? Like I can't obviously afford to pay for everyone's electricity. Yeah, of course. But how do you help the community? And she did that. So girls come in every single day, like to come and study, to come in, you know, they might stay there for the whole year, and she doesn't mind because they like, there's nothing, do you know what I mean? So
I'm assuming that imprinted on you. Like in that like you said, like coming from community, because for me, I'm not gonna lie, like I come from a small family, so if you're coming into my house for sugar, you better knock, like, you know what I'm trying to say? So as much as like I want, like I'm uncomfortable in those spaces, like how do you feel like that imprinted on you, and that has like, how do you feel like that has driven some of your endeavors and things that you've tried to do?
I think I didn't actually realize this when I started out, I guess, in my own career, to be honest. But my grandma and my mom play such a huge influence on my life. Because even coming here, when I think back, like, it's just me and my mom, you know, she came here first and she was working like 3 jobs, doing her thing. And what's happened is that over time, like, it's mainly girls. I don't know why. It's like mainly girls who are coming from my country who always contact like my mom to be like, hey, I'm coming to Ireland. I have nowhere to go. You know, I have nowhere to start. And my mom will be like, oh, you know, come stay with us. And you can chill until you settle in, you find a place. And what used to happen is my mom would be like, take her to go do her JNIB, show her how to do the bus, show her. And I've like, it's constantly been like that. I mean, I think we've looked at so many girls, maybe 20 girls who come from Malawi. But it's that community feeling.
Do you know what is so crazy?
Yeah.
Some girl stopped me on the road. Sive. We need to FaceTime her after this real quick. Her name is Sive Owens, I think, maybe. I think she works with RT or something like that. I'm probably botching it up. But I told her I was interviewing you today. And she was like, I don't know anybody else from Malawi. I don't know anybody from the long way. She looks up to you. Do you know her?
I think so. I think so.
And she was like, can I come? And I DM'd her. I was like, yeah, like we're recording 8 p.m. Vision Lab. She was like, yeah, I'll be there. But I forgot to remind her. To be fair, I told her where we're finna be at. So it's like, that's so crazy that you said that, because that was going through my mind. I'm so sorry, Sive, if you're watching this. I love you. But yeah, like, that's crazy. So talking about girls, and like, let's talk about the first thing that you mentioned, Gxrl Code, right? So you're founder, co-founder. Talk to me about Gxrl Code. What is Gxrl Code, and kind of where did that start from?
It's my baby. I think Gxrl Code started from a frustration, to be honest. Like, it's just, I co-founded a record label with a partner, ex-partner of mine. So it's from there, it was all about community. So the community you're talking about, to be honest, I felt it in like 2013, you know, that sense of community, trying to build, trying to help each other, trying to create platforms that were there for creatives and stuff. And the one thing that I realized is I was always in a room full of guys. You know, not that it's a bad thing or anything. I dominated. I dominated.
You let them know you're about.
Yeah, I let them know I'm here. And I didn't feel intimidated at all when I was in those spaces. But then, like, I started looking outside, and I looked at the UK, I looked at the US, and there's other collectives, like female collectives. I think I got my inspiration from that when I really look back, you know, to be like, oh, there was the Bay Worldwide, which is a female collective and stuff. And I started looking at different other things. And I didn't think, honestly, I could do it because I was like, oh, that's such a cool idea. But I was already co-founder of a record label. We were already supporting creatives here, already supporting like artists.
What's the name of the record label?
Soul Etiquette, that's what it was called, So that's what it's called. It's still there, but
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's still around. Like, we did some amazing stuff, you know, like all Jafaris, that was their first platform. Unique, Erica Cody, all of them. Like, I think they all kind of started from that platform when I remember. So there was always a sense like of that community. Evans Jr. Oh my God, there's so many that I've watched, you know, grow and become the artists that they are now. So it started from those kind of platforms, that sense of community. And what you're saying is, it's bigger than just one person. It's like, how do we all kind of come together and create something? And then I think from there with Gxrl Code as well, I was like, oh, frustration from other personal stuff, you know, feeling like, oh, girls don't support each other, blah, blah, blah. And then also just wanting to be surrounded by more female creatives, to be honest. That's really what I was trying to do, because I moved from Cork to Limerick, and I didn't have that many friends. So I was trying to also be surrounded by other female creatives to see, okay, who's around? Like, how do I connect to those kind of people? I'm not from here. I was very like shy, very closed off, very kind of like to myself, brilliant ideas, which I know for a fact, but just wanted to be surrounded by more female creatives. So it was a personal thing for me. I was like, oh, it'd be dope to kind of find who those people are here. And then I just put up a post on Twitter and stuff, and it just went crazy. And then on Instagram as well, I was like, yo, who wants to join this collective? And I had like 60 applications.
Crazy.
Which was insane to me, you know? and reading all the applications that I got, because I told them to share the story, why they want to be a part of it, you know, all of that stuff. And I realized, oh my God, this is like, it wasn't what I was expecting it to be honest. I just thought, oh, this is just a bunch of girls. We get to chill, we get to do dope stuff, you know, we get to like throw events.
But there's some level of purpose behind it, right?
Yeah. And at first I didn't realize what the purpose was really. So I was confused, and everybody was confused as well. Like, what is Girl Code? I was like, yeah, it's a collective of like dope
girls,
women, you know, who do. I could never really explain it, even to my own team. Like, they were so confused most of the time, because I was like, honestly, I did not think that this would be like this.
So what did you do? So in the sense of like not being able to put it into words and explaining, like, talk to me about the actions that Girl Code took, or some of the different events that were held by Girl Code.
Yeah, I think like me actually not defining it was probably the best thing that happened, because it's like you didn't have to limit it to anything, and it kind of created a buzz from that as well. So it was a very marketing strategic move to be like, actually let people guess. You know, when people guess, when people question, it kind of creates that mysterious, what is it? You know, explain it to us.
Yeah, because I always would see it from like Slight Motive. I'm like, what's this, bro? Like,
I don't want to explain. Like, I was like, nah, let people think what they need to think. And like, the action will speak for itself. And over time, it kind of just became like a platform for women to come, and it was what I thought it would be anyways, which is we come together, we do showcases, we do great initiatives, like whatever anybody in the team could come up with, whatever we wanted to do, that we had the resources, that we had a team to always kind of execute that. So like my favorite part is probably like showcasing talent, you know, because we didn't have that platform, those kind of platforms for like emerging artists, especially like female artists as well. I wanted them to come out a lot more, to be like, hey, you have this, you have support, like we're here. And then it turned into like supporting businesses, where we'll have like business coming to events to showcase their products as well. It's basically just, here's a place where
bunch
you
of girls doing some cool
exactly cool honestly, that's the best way to actually like say what it is. And I think that's what it was actually just meant to be in that moment.
That's cool. Apart from your kind of burning desire to want what you wanted, like, why do you find that is important, or why do you find that there was such a like affinity to it? Why was there 60 girls applying? Like, what is so important about a concept like Girl Code?
I think what you said in the beginning as well is the sense of community. I think every single one of those girls, when I was reading their stories, it's feeling maybe a little bit lost, or don't know where to start, or maybe it's just like, oh, I want to get into this, but how do I get there, you know, or I want experience. Or some of them honestly just wanted to be a part of it, you know, they didn't really know why, but they just also maybe wanted friends. And I think it just allowed whatever it could be to just be that in the moment. Just be like, okay, if you just want friends, it's fine. If you want to get inspiration, if you're feeling a little bit lost and you want a little bit of direction with what you're doing, or if you want to play a huge part in it as well, you know, it was just like, honestly, it had no structure to it. And I think I put a lot of pressure on myself as well with that, because then it's like everyone was looking up to me to be like, what is the structure? What do I do? But nobody teaches you how to be a founder of something. Like, I didn't expect it to be like that. You know, nobody gives you a manual to be like, well, here's a blueprint of what you can do. I didn't have that mentorship as well. I was only just starting out. I was also lost. I was also just trying to figure everything out at the same time. But when you have like a whole bunch of girls, I guess, also looking up to you, also have to kind of have your head, you know, kind of working for them and trying to help them and trying to be their mentor when you're trying to figure it out at the same time.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing in itself when you look back at it, but when you're going through it, it's kind of like, this is a tornado and I'm right in the middle of it type thing. Do you know what I mean? That's lit. Do you know what? My brain is going two ways. I'm going to pick...
Go
I'm going to pick B. Okay? B was a question about... I've forgotten it. That is crazy. Let's go A, right?
Okay, A.
Personally, I've never had that problem. I've never had a problem where I've been in a room full of men and been like, whoa, I'm intimidated.
Yeah,
like
same, yeah.
I like football is a male dominated sport.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends are male.
Yeah.
So it's like that is more scary to me than it is to be in a room full of men. Like I know how to navigate a room full of men.
Yeah.
A room full of gal, bro. I need to wear my nicest clothes. Do you get me? Makeup needs to be on point. Like
I think
hair needs to be on point. Like, bro, I have enough for myself. I have enough emotions for everybody in this room. Do you get me? So it's like hearing something like that is crazy, and it's nice. And as I've grown up, I've understood the needed for like a sisterhood. But sometimes I feel like, unfortunately, there's this negative connotation, but it's somewhat true. It's almost when they say a cliche is true because a cliche is a cliche because it's true, and it's happened so frequently. Like I do find like a lot of women have a lot of trauma from other women. So to have such a great concept like that, it kind of is what it is to me as a concept. Like I don't know how comfortable I would feel stepping into a collective with a bunch of women. Do you get me? Like I hear it's a great idea, it's amazing, but maybe that's my own traumas that I need to heal from. But at the same time, it's like as many times as I heal, girls really come back and do the same thing. So it's like, how do you navigate those emotions? How do you navigate, because there's no clear structure, everybody makes it what they want. How do you, obviously you clearly have said that you struggled with that initially, but it's been about 2 years, a year and a bit that I've heard of Girl Code, and you're saying you're rebranding, you're coming back. What have you learned to make this a better experience for yourself and other people coming into it?
Yeah, oh, that question.
Yes, a lot.
That question. Yeah, to be honest, I did struggle with it a lot, and like I did hold my own at the end of the day, you know, to be like, okay, I do have a team. I had great support as well, to be honest, within the collective. Like you are right, it's very intimidating to be in a room full of girls. There's so many emotions, so many things. I think I became a sister, a mother, a therapist, a friend, everything, you know, and it does become a lot as well. And I guess it's vice versa with certain people as well in the collective. They might have felt that same pressure like I did as well. And what happened is I think I also had my own personal life by the end of the day, you know, and Girl Code was supposed to just be a platform where it wasn't about like say making money or whatever. It's just we wanted to come together, put together good projects, because I honestly, my mindset was not like that at all. I wasn't thinking like anything like that. So I guess with that, then everybody's coming in with their own take and what is this and what is that, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm also trying to figure out my own life. I'm trying to figure out this thing that I have no structure, I have no clue. There's so many people telling me this and this and this. There's so many people coming in, giving me their own views, their own ideas, their own complaints, their own, and it does become a lot. And I think what I've learned is, and I failed, you know, to be honest, the last 2 years, I failed at it. I'm not gonna lie, I did fail at it. Well, it feels like I did, but
why do you say that? What defines the failure?
I think it's because like when you are responsible for other people's visions and dreams and goals, I think sometimes it does become a lot of pressure on you, and maybe they might not get what they want in that moment, or maybe they might not see the progress that they are needing to make. But I think I failed to also understand that I'm also a human being who is also trying to figure it out, you know? And I took that on myself to take it really personal, because I'm like, yo, I was going through a lot of depression as well, you know, but nobody would know that, nobody would see that, because they would just see Mona who's doing the work, going here, doing this, doing that. But when I go home, I'm there crying and depressed, you know, suicidal to that point. So it does become a lot, but I couldn't show that side of me as much, I guess.
Why? Was that you, or was that other people?
I think it's me, you know, I can't blame anybody for my own like actions and reactions. And maybe if I was a little bit more open about the situation that I was in, maybe if I had opened up to just be like, hey, this is where I am, maybe it would have been a different kind of turnout, you know. So I guess in the end, it just felt like I had let a lot of people down through my own like depression, and through my own trying to figure out who I am and what I want and what I'm going to do. Because you are running a collective, yes, But at the end of the day, I also have my own career that I'm busy as hell. I'm trying to figure, like, am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Am I moving back to Malawi? Like, there's so many moving parts in my own life. Yeah. And there's also this huge responsibility that I've put on myself.
Why are you so busy?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm running as well.
I was gonna say, like, does like not to put anything on you, but why do you have all of these things going on? Like, what's the purpose of that?
Okay, so 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with ADD. So I can't really focus on one thing at a time, and that's something that I've really learned to take on, to just be like, oh my God, I understand myself now. This is why I've always, since I was young, been doing so many things. I couldn't concentrate properly in school. They'd be like, Mona, and I'd be drawing, doodling, and still listening, still passing my exams, but still like doing so many things at once. And everyone would just be like, focus, 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 trying to put this focus thing in my head to be like, do one thing and then finish it. But mentally, I cannot, you know? So it's like I didn't know that as well. So that also played a huge part in everything, with not understanding how I am as a person, who I was, what I wanted to do, but also having this responsibility. It just was a mess, you know, it was a mess. And I just needed to figure that part out for myself.
And what's changed now? Now that you have the understanding, how do you better yourself in the sense of, obviously it's in your nature to do a bunch of things now. How do you feel like you can now succeed in some of them, if not all of them? Or is succeeding the goal, or is doing the goal?
I think it's doing. Like, I love doing. Like, I love what I do. I think everything is connected. That's the beauty of it. It's like, if this is I connect dots. That's what I always say. Like, it's like literally this falls into this, and this falls into that, and some things take time. And what I've learned is, with Girl Code, I had to park it to actually like realize, okay, what is this? You know, to answer the question that everyone else was asking me, I needed to answer it for myself. Yeah. I needed to actually figure it out for myself, to be like, do you want to do this? You know, and if you do, which direction is it going to? You know, what are you going to do? How are you going to do things differently now than what you did back then, to actually build such a stronger platform, or a stronger whatever it is that I can't really see.
That's okay. Exclusive. It's okay.
Check it out.
Yeah, no, I hear it.
It's like what I had to ask myself, that it took me through 2 years to just be like, everyone's like, when's Girl Code coming back? Everyone always asks me that every single day. When is it? But I'm not pressurized anymore. Because now I've figured it out, and now I know which direction it's going to go, and now I know how to actually execute it to the way I wanted to actually, which is what was meant to be in the beginning anyways. Yeah. But I needed to actually understand that for myself and then execute. But I love doing. I don't think I cannot do.
No, I hear
I don't think I cannot do anything.
But back to that. Yeah. I'll ask you again, do you think you failed? Can you fail at something that's not done?
Yeah, I think you can, and it's okay. You know, like, people think, oh yeah, you didn't fail. Maybe I did fail. I did feel like I failed.
You felt like you failed.
I felt like I failed. Maybe
you failed forward.
Yes.
I hear it.
Or in other words, I parked it. You know, that's what I like to
all of these things. Do you get me? Isn't it weird as humans how I like that you're accepting accountability. I love that for you. But in the sense of, for me, you don't fail until you stop. Yeah. So maybe in 2019 or 2020, when it was stopped in your head, you felt like you failed. But maybe right now it's you've reevaluated. It's like doing the pre's and doing the leave insert. Yeah. Do you get me? You go, you reevaluate, and you go again. Do you get me? Like, and I feel like there's a joy in the doing, for your personality. For me, that shit needs to be finished. Like, we need to all of this something. We'll do 1 and 2 today maybe, and then when it's done, we'll go to 3 and 4. But the reason I asked you is because sometimes I feel like I'm so busy because I'm running from something, and I don't know what yet, and it's pissing me off. But I also have been like this forever, so it's like, maybe this is just me, because it's like, if I'm not doing football, I'm doing this, I'm working, and I'm happiest when I'm doing something. I'm happiest when I have a purpose towards something. Like, sometimes, like, tomorrow, I really want to do nothing. I promise you I'm going to be outside of my house. And it's really annoying, but it's like, that acceptance of me and accepting what I do, but instead of putting it to a detriment to myself, where I'm everywhere in the sense of I'm just higgy haga, I'm at this party, I'm at this place. It's like, okay, how do I be at places that are bringing me peace, that are bringing me purpose? Which is literally when I saw your story about that meta event, I was like, I had a plan that night, but I was like, I want to do this instead. Like, I'm still going to be outside. I'm still going to be mixing with people, but that purpose is a big thing for me. I don't like co-signing to things that don't have purpose.
Exactly.
And like a lot of people, like, you might watch my story, you might be like, what's this girl doing? Like, to get me? But like deep down, I know what I do, and that's why I'm as crazy as I am, because it's like, you can define whatever you think I'm doing, but I'm going to be doing something, a next thing, and you're going to be like, why is she doing that? The reason I'm doing that, the reason I'm doing all of these grounded things is because there needs to be a balance. Do you get me? As much as I'm high in the sky doing backflips or whatever, like, I need to be at events like meta at whatever. I need to link up with people like Black and Irish sometimes. I need to link up with people like Momobo. Like, I'm spitting names. Do you get me? Like, these are people who are doing things in the scene, and that goes back to community. Again, it's like, am I just doing this for me? When I'm gone, when Nessa's gone, when Mona's gone, what are people going to say? Do you get what I'm trying to say? What are people going to say that we left behind? Like, is there going to be somebody else trying to do what I'm doing right now? Or should I leave it in a sense where somebody else can pick up from where I'm leaving? Do you get me? And that's the thing about the Irish scene. I feel like a bunch of people are starting over. Like, someone needs to stop and someone needs to take over. Do you get me? Because why are we starting over every couple of years? Like, and it's a bit weird to me. And I feel like that's where we haven't figured out ourselves yet, which is fine. We're in the growing phases, but I think at some stage, bro, like, we gotta start passing on the baton to certain people. Speaking of passing on the baton, okay, we'll leave girl code to the side. That's nice, all the galley and that.
I just want to say as well, like, everything you just said, honestly, is everything that's on my mind as well every single day. I am somebody who won't spend my time unless it's kind of beneficial in a way. All the events that I attend, there's always a reason. And I'm very strategic. I am very, very strategic about every single thing, because I connect everything. I'm like, okay, this is what I need, so this is how I'm going to get it, this is how this is going to work, and this is what. So as much as, like, I'm partying and having so much fun, in the back of my head, if I'm in a venue, I'm already sussing it out. Okay, what can I do with this venue? If I'm meeting you, I've already, in my head,
literally,
I already have a plan for you that you don't even know.
I opened my notes app. I said, your name is here. Like, because people think that I meet them and I'm gassing it. I'm like, no, I'm watching. You get me? I might be shaking my bum, you get me? But I'm watching. Do you know what I mean?
Same. Like, I have a plan for you that you don't even know.
Come on, like, God and that.
It's stuff like that. Like, I meet certain people, and I've built such great relationships as well with certain people who I'm like, okay, this one, as I say, the meta, I could always tell, like, it's my gut intuition, which I should have trusted, like, a long time ago as well, because I feel like I was a bit just accepting nonsense.
Whatever.
But now I really, really trust my intuition. That's why I think everything needed to happen the way it is. So going back to, did I fail? It's a feeling of failure, yes, but it's not a feeling I carry anymore. And I think it's a feeling of fear that I didn't realize then, that I was led by fear, but I'm not led by fear anymore. I'm not scared of anything.
I love it.
I'm actually not scared.
I love it.
I'm not scared about anything. I just know exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm in phase 3 of my growth, which is execution.
Let's go.
So I've already gone through my phases, and now I'm in execution stage. That's why I've moved back to Dublin. And you're just going to start seeing everything, everything roll, because it's been a 2-year plan. Through my depression, I created all these plans. Through it all, when I was in Malawi, started a creative agency over there. So I run a creative agency in my country, and I'm still here.
Chat to me. Let's go. You created the segue, so we're gonna, wherever you go, where you move, I move. Okay, let's go. We're going.
It's all creative agency. It's all through the depression. You know, when I felt like I failed with Girl Code, like I became so, like, emotional in a sense, to be like, oh my God, I've let so many people down, and I was going through all of that in my head, you know, because sometimes it is kind of like
of course,
all in your head, to be like, oh my God, so many people are gonna say I failed them, and I obviously didn't want that. It was never my intentions to make anybody even ever feel like that.
Yeah.
So, but in my head, I took the accountability for where I did fail, and then said, okay, fine, okay, you've cried about it now, you know. Went through my whole suicidal period to the point my mom was like, you know, you need to go back home. You haven't been back home. You need to find some grounding, because I feel like here, when we come from Africa, it's like we almost get lost in a way. It's like we come in a bubble.
Yeah.
And because I was doing all these things, I'm on British Vogue, oh my God, I'm doing this, oh my God, and you know, I'm getting
You keep mentioning these things, yeah. We need to be hurrying up, yeah.
Oh my God, and
yeah,
you know,
crazy.
It creates this huge bubble and stuff, and you're like living. When I went back home,
wow.
Oh my God, it was like boop.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yo, there's people in my area who still don't have electricity. They don't have, like, anything.
Yeah.
And I'm there in my little bubble thinking I've made it. What about the people I've left here? What about my community who have watched me grow? You know what I mean? And that changed everything for me. I needed that moment. So everything that happened here, the failure, the whatever, the fear, everything, it happened, and it drove me back there, because that's actually where I found myself again.
Yeah.
I found the grounding, met so many creatives in Malawi, amazing talent in Malawi who don't also have the platform, who have maybe are mostly led by fear as well, because in Africa, oh, you're not allowed to do this, you know, so just to break that as well. At
least here you'd be on the dole. There you'd have nothing. Like.
Nothing. So to break that mold as well, I was like, okay, what am I gonna do, you know, here and stuff. And then put together a team, wrote to BBC. I was like, yo, I want to do this thing with creators in Malawi. You've done it in Nigeria. You've done it in
Kenya, probably.
In Kenya, you've done it in South Africa. Like, there's more to Africa. You know, I love all those countries still. Yeah. But it's like, I wanted to also represent my country in a way, to be like, what have I done for my country? And it was a doctor I met in Malawi who changed my perspective. He was like, what economy do you contribute to? And I was like, damn. I was like,
myself.
I was like, oh my God, like, I love Ireland, you know, forever my home. And I always also contribute to this. And I told him, I was like, actually, I want to contribute to both. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know, to want to represent both, because it is my home here and it's my home there. So met a bunch of creatives, created a beautiful documentary, which is going to be out soon as well. We've been editing, processing, all of that, but it's just to showcase that. And
what's it about?
It's just about the creatives who are there. It's like an intro to the creatives who are there, who are actually like making amazing content, like just for where they are, what they're trying to do as well, just to showcase them as well on another platform. That's honestly what I wanted to do. And then from there, when I came back, they're like, oh my God, are you going to come back? And, you know, what are you going to do? And then I was like, oh God, like, let's just start.
I have to come back.
That's another responsibility. Let's start a creative agency to see like how we can put that all together and utilize everyone's skill. And now we have like so many clients that we're working with at the moment. And like everyone is getting paid, doing what they love doing in Malawi, actually going to their parents and being like, hey, I'm a photographer and I'm doing this now. Do you know what I mean? Hey, I'm a graphic designer and I'm doing this now. So yes, I know, I'm just talking.
Bro, just keep going. They're reeling it off. But that's, that's crazy. How does one make a creative agency? How does a creative agency just become a thing?
I think it's actually simpler than I thought it would be. Okay. Like, obviously, everything needs a structure. It's a business and stuff. But if everyone's a freelancer as well, you're just basically finding them jobs. You know what I mean? Like, I'm able to talk my way into a lot of things as well. So I just face the clients. They're like, hey, we have these things. We can create this for you. We sit down, we brainstorm, we come up with ideas, and we go and execute. Like, you know, and it's actually simple. Yeah,
you don't need to overthink it. Like, it's actually, see a target, approach the target, make a claim of some sort, and then boom.
Literally,
love
pitch,
it.
Execute.
See, my brain doesn't work like that. Yeah, my brain is, and then we're like, you know what?
Never mind.
I'm finna head out. So that's crazy. So chat to me, British Vogue.
Oh my God.
Did British Vogue. You did Forbes. 30 under 30 for Africa. You can pick. I'm gonna let you pick A or B. Pick the next topic, because Baby, we don't have enough time. If we're going to be here, we're going to have to do a series of Mona-Lxsa on our own. But yeah, you can pick what you want to talk about next.
I don't know, because like I feel like both are very like the staples in my life. The funny thing is like both of them happened in like my worst stages. You know,
Crazy.
British Vogue was like going through my own shit as well. And then with Forbes, actually, no, Forbes was a blessing, to be honest, because I was like, oh my God, started this creative agency in Malawi. I'm a DJ in Ireland, also representing my country. Honestly, I did not think I was like ever going to be on that list. It was never on my mind, honestly, to like even think, oh, I would ever be on Forbes. Like,
how do they find you? How does that work?
I have no clue. I think like somebody nominates you or whatever it is. God bless that person.
Please, if you're watching, me too. I'm not 30 yet.
And all I did was, I just remember getting the email to be like, you've been nominated for Forbes Africa. And I thought it was a joke. I was like, I was like, what have I done?
Them ones, send us 150.
I was like, what? But it was serious. Like, I was like, whoa. The procedure is crazy. They audit you, like background checks, everything.
Never mind, I'm not
weddings and mad like financials, everything. They literally look at everything. Like it's like it's like almost it was crazy process, but like I'm grateful to have been recognized for that, because then it just like solidifies my future plans, because to be honest, I do want to contribute back to my country, and I want to like take that part like to the next level. Do you know what I mean? So it was kind of like a affirming moment to be like, actually, Africa is where I really want to be. You know, I really want to build stuff.
But you kind of need the validation from up here, though. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's the way the world works. You know, like you can't even talking about like the Afrobeat scene this whole summer, like even. I would say 2 years, but I think this whole summer with the sense of Afrobeats and Amapiano as well. I think Afrobeats was strictly kind of a West African thing. I feel like Amapiano is like Southern Africa, but everywhere as well. So like even with that, like obviously there's a lot of artists in Africa that are crazy big, but we don't know anything about them. Do you know what I mean? It's just not until they get kind of affirmation from the Western side of things where we really be like, oh hey, cool, these people have really made it. It's upsetting, but unfortunately that's where we're living. That's the world we're living in right now, and it looks like you're making the best of both worlds, really.
I think it's just building a bridge. By the end of the day, it's not like abandoning one place for the other. I think like even working with the Irish Embassy in Malawi solidified that bridge to be like, hey, actually we can do this, and there's ways to do this. Like the next plan is to bring like some creatives over here to Malawi, you know, vice versa through the Irish Embassy. Like that's like one of my plans, to be honest, is to build that bridge. It's not to say, oh yeah, now I'm abandoning this place. Thank you very much for everything.
Thanks for the passport.
But it's not even just about Malawi. It's just about creatives in Africa in general. Like there's so many, and even being on that list, like it just opened my eyes up to be like, yo, they are amazing creatives. Like over in Africa that are just doing it, and I'm fully inspired, to be honest. So it's just like learning to build the bridges and stuff, and like my advocacy from now on is honestly to remind people here like where we actually do come from and what we can do, and not to limit ourselves to be like, oh, I just want to make it in Ireland or in the UK or whatever, or in the US. Like we have our own beautiful continent back there, you know, we have our own beautiful continent, you know, back there, and it's like learning to utilize those connections as well. Like we listen to Afro beats here, you know, we embrace all that, so why not also go and actually see the countries? Let's do it.
I'm even trying to get a flight to Niger this Christmas, but like it looking like I'm gonna have to take out a mortgage. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I'm just trying to see my granny, bro. Like why is you trying to take my money?
Man, it's expensive.
Yeah, but like. Do you know what? Like you're such an inspiring person, and like just I'm so glad I got a kind of, we already had this plan, but I'm so glad that we cancelled last week and I got the opportunity to get a glimpse into your life, because it gave me a total different perspective of you. Like I like to find out about people on the spot here, but sometimes a little bit of a peek into someone's life can show you a lot more than a moment, you know? And it's like as much as everything and you just trusting your gut, I admire that so much. I promise you I'm not trusting my gut because, like I said, man, like that's how my brain goes.
You'll find it. You'll find it.
Bro, I'm chilling. Like, you get me? Life, I'm not worried about life. God's got me.
Yeah, exactly.
But with regards to that, like, you have such an entrepreneurial spirit, like, and just inspirational, entrepreneurial, like, just you finding yourself and telling me the story about the ADD and the depression. Like, I'm so sorry you had to go through that, but in a way I'm not, and because of what you've made from that. Do you get me? I wouldn't wish any of that upon anybody, but I'm so glad that you've been able to come out of that and see what you can do. But in the middle of that, like, I do hope that you see your worth and see yourself as you without all of these things. Like, it's great that these things add to you. But I don't know why I'm projecting, but it's like, I know how I feel and how I rate myself from the things that I've done. Yeah. But I'm sometimes trying to peel it back, and it's like, even if I didn't do all of these things, I'm still me, and that's enough. Yeah. Do you get me? Yeah. And like, whatever you do, I want that to be an extension of yourself, because at the end of the day, once you're good here, everything else is going to flow from that. Do you know what I mean? And everything else you do, everything else you put your hand on will succeed, inshallah, in Jesus' name, all of them things. Like, but yeah, away from the entrepreneurial thing, you actually work a proper job, which is pretty,
oh my God, yes,
like, pretty kind of unusual for me, in the sense of, like, understanding you. I would think you don't like the man, like, but you work for Hot Press, yeah? Yes. What do you do there? What's your title? What is Hot Press, first of all, for the people who don't know?
Hot Press is a music magazine, so they've been around for the last 45 years, which I respect so much. Yeah. I absolutely love my job. My role is a bit complicated because I feel like I'm bouncing all over the place.
It seems on brand for you.
Yes, but I think they support that as well, which is why I love my job at the moment. Like, it just happened. You know what I mean? I think it was a faith thing as well. Like, as I say, I trust my intuition. I'm led by faith before anything else. So, like, getting the job itself, and the freedom that I'm allowed to just, like, bounce all over the place, like, contribute here, contribute there, contribute here, like, has been a blessing, because it's what I do already, is like trying to connect the dots and honestly also represent kind of the urban scene, you know, in there as well, to be like, hey, I know, like, a lot of talent, you know, I know I can put people on now and on that aspect if they need to, and, you know, just, like, bouncing all over the place. Like, it's been a funny one, though, because I've only been there a month. But even when they've been trying to find the title, like, to be like, we actually don't know, but we feel like you can just be everywhere. And I was like, thank you.
I think that cosign is really nice, you know?
Yeah, it is. I think we value each other in that sense. Like, you want to be in a space where you can grow, where you feel valued, where you feel like your opinions matter, where they're giving you the freedom to actually, like, contribute and actually be a part of it. And like, that's why I'm loving, like, being in that space, and just, you know, same vice versa. Like, I want to see the magazine even grow even further to you know, be more diverse even in that sense. But they've already been killing it for the last 45 years. I just have so much respect for that alone, for a media to be running for that long is insane to me. So I'm loving what I'm doing so far. I've only been there a month, but, like, I know, like, the things that we have in the pipeline, I know the things that we're planning is just amazing, and I think it will change a lot of things as well here. And I believe that, you know,
change is needed, because they brought out a list of artists or rappers, can't remember, I think it was rappers recently, and the list it's glad that you said that you've only been working there a month, because I was about to roast you real quick, because I was like, there's no way you let that list go out, bro. And it's like, you know, I see there is an effort of, let's say, Irish, because that's where we are right now, people trying to figure out the diversity, trying to put people on, but sometimes when it's done from a savior mentality of people who are outside of the scene, they get it wrong, and you will get it wrong. Yeah. Regardless, white, black, whatever. If you're trying to do something for a certain demographic and you're not part of that, you're not connected to that, or you don't have someone from that demographic in the room, you're gonna miss. Yeah. You might get a couple, but you're gonna miss. And that's what it seemed like, that list. And I know there's some outrage about the people that they put on. It seemed like some of them were good artists, but they were outdated. Some of them haven't made music for, like, since COVID. You're like, why is this person on the list? And it's like, not that they're a bad artist, but it's kind of like, you can tell where you've been looking. You're looking on the surface. You're not looking at, you're not in the scene, you know?
Yeah.
So it's nice to, if that's something that you're going to have influence 100%. In, it's definitely needed, you know?
100%. And I think that is where I'm also frustrated about with the scene itself. And I've made it very vocal and clear to just be like, there's so many underrated artists that I'm just looking at. I'm like, oh my God, you just deserve so much, you know? Much respect to like everyone who's been doing it, you know, and who's still doing it and who's still trying and everything like that. But there is like, we just need a bit of a shake, a little bit of a, to be like, how do we separate popularity from quality? Do you know what I mean? I think that's the topic of discussion, is that how do we do that? But I think it's more of a community thing as well, like a culture thing, where it's not just about hyping, this is my friend, this is my friend, like give them the truth, you know, tell them like, yo,
sell
like,
your microphone.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
don't sing on that again.
No. I'll be like,
I'm joking. I'm not about that at all. Yeah, I hear you.
Let me help in this sense and help in that sense. Yeah, exactly. I think we played so safe in Ireland so much, like, because everyone wants to be nice to everyone, and it's I support you so you can support me kind of thing, and it's a bit pretentious in a way, and like I think even stepping away and moving away made me realize that, and I don't want to like do that anymore. I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, that's your song is so dope, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that anymore. And I have been a part of that scene where I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just support, they're trying, yes they are trying. It's not to, it's not to say then it's bad or anything like that. I think we just need to step up the levels a little bit, where there's a bit of a competitive feel. Do you know what I mean?
It's not gonna get anything outside of this bubble if that isn't there. You know?
Like
it's gonna hurt. Some people are gonna get stepped on, unfortunately. But
that's the thing.
Dog eat dog world. No, I'm joking, because I don't. Do you know what's so funny is that I'm moving mad, because I don't subscribe to that at all. I'm definitely. Let's everybody just be nice.
As the thing is,
but
as
it's
you
necessary.
should.
As
you
necessary.
should, because it's people like you who speak up for that, who are going to change things. You know what I mean? If we're all just playing nice and not really like actually being honest about certain things, and how is anything going to change? And it's for changing for the better. It's also to make people realize that they can level up their music. They can just, it inspires more than anything. And if it's putting you down, then maybe you need to go and reevaluate.
Maybe you gotta,
a lot of things. But
shake it up.
If I'm seeing something so dope, it inspires me more than I feel anything else. You know what I mean? I should be like, damn, I saw that video, that was so sick. Like, that's the kind of feeling I want to be having when I'm listening to the music, when I'm seeing the videos, when I'm not. And as a DJ,
it's okay.
I want to play the music.
Jeez, we didn't even get to you being a DJ, bro.
I want to play the music. Like, so if I'm not playing the music, if I can't even listen to it at home, then it's like, come on, guys. I'm sorry, I love you. You spend time in the studio. I respect that. I
saw that recently with Red's house, and I think this is where we're gonna kind of wrap it up, put it all together. So Red's house, big up Red.
Shout out Red.
He put up a tweet the other day and was like, "Oh, artists, send us your songs if we feel in the vibe, like should play it." I think it seems like an obvious thing, but it's not. I don't think I've ever heard an Irish artist while I'm out, except from like creative events. Right, and it's kind of like that's another thing we need to collab on, because how else are we gonna get to the Irish public, to the Irish community, if we're not playing it where they're going to be? Not everybody is going to be in a room criticizing Irish music. Not everybody is going to be ready to listen to Irish music. And that's the issue I find right now, is that the fans of the scene are also people in the scene. It's not going anywhere.
It's a loop.
Do you get me? We need fans outside of the scene. We need people to want to listen to artists, to be like, okay, have this person on my rap radar or my release radar, following people on whatever, like actually being fans of it, right? And that's really lit, and that's a really good point that you've made, in that sense of like people increasing the quality of their work so that we can play it out there. Flip side is also true, is for like DJs and promoters to be willing to play songs, because we do have a lot of good songs, you know?
We do,
whether or not, what's the thing on the DJ MBPs or whatever.
Yeah, BPM.
them things and that. I mean, like whether all of those things are like aligned. I understand that it's not just any song is gonna be played, but for the ones that do fall into that category and are decent quality, there needs to be a willingness to play that. You know?
I think there is, you know, I've heard a couple of DJs, to be honest, play like a lot of Irish music as well. But yeah, you are right. Like for me personally, if I have to be able to enjoy the music first. Course. Like I will support your music if I think it's absolutely dope to that point where I'm like, yo, I need this in my playlist. And I think there's a couple of artists that I listen to now who are just like, they're my friends, yes, but I'll be like, yo, this is like, I will listen to this without even you knowing. Like, shout out Shiv. I love Shiv.
You mentioned her actually the other day.
Yeah, I always mention her, like, because I'm like, I listen to her almost every single day, but it's not because I know her, because her music is so good. There's another artist I just discovered, 1K3, there's Eniola now, you know, there's like a bunch of new artists that I'm also discovering at the moment. Who I'm just like, yo, this is actually, I could play this cool, in the club, you know, I could play this out when I'm out in my sets. I can see it in different playlists as well. And it's music like that I feel like we just need to really embrace and support each other, like, you know, and then we can put it in our playlist. And like my DMs are always free. Like I always get like music submissions all the time to be like, Mona, and I'm so good at criticizing music. Like, take me to the studio, and I'll be there like, no, that voice gotta go.
You need to stop paying for studio time. Do not pay any more studio time.
Take me with you. But I love stuff like that. Like, you know, I think it's also up to artists to take initiative to also like say, oh, hey, I'm doing this demo. Can you just listen to my music? You know what I mean? Like I'm working with Alina Macau. Like she sends me demos all the time. Femi, like they send me demos all the time. Like, what do you think? And we can work on that to be like, yo, this is a vibe. Or no, this is maybe change the little things. And it's artists also finding those music critics as well, who they also know that it's like gonna give them
don't send it to your group chat.
Exactly, don't send it to your mates.
Send it to the group chat. Like, don't send it to your boy.
Don't send it to your mama either.
If you have a girlfriend, don't play it for her. She doesn't want to hear you rap over FaceTime. Like she doesn't. Like, why am I chatting to man and they start rapping on FaceTime? Please. Wait, first of all, it's not a personal thing. I said on Twitter. There's nobody that I would ever chat to that would dare start rapping to me, and they think I'm not locking that phone off, bro. Never that.
No.
But yeah, I think that's an amazing. I think that's an amazing place to end on. You have so much more. Obviously, XC nights.
Oh my God, we can talk about
bro.
days.
So Mona's doing things. Like I said, we're gonna have a series called Finding Mona-Lxsa. Yeah, Mona-Lxsa. I'm gonna see you. It's like what? 4-part series and that about each and everything you do. But yeah, no, I wish we had more time to go into everything that you do. But just best of luck. Your new little baby is XC nights events, trying to find new and creative ways to have nights out, connect with people, vibe, all of that. We'll put all of the information in the descriptions. Follow along, come true, get on the G list and that.
Yes, invite only.
Only certain people get me. Like, can I say?
It's only invite only, so you gotta get on the list.
I'm screaming, but yeah, no, it was lovely meeting you. It was lovely finally getting to speak to you. Yeah. And yeah, just the future. What am I saying? I can't wait.
The future is bright.
Can't wait to chat to you and that. Get me?
Yeah, to be honest, this is my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably my favorite and most honest interview as well. Like
I didn't think it was gonna get like that. But
yeah, it's because I feel like most of the times it's very airy fairy. Maybe it's like it's not a conversation. It's more like, so tell me what you did, and I get it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God, so cool.
Yeah, and then we move on, and then it's like I love to really get into the deep side of things as well, which I appreciate, and I admire you as well. I'm following your journey, and I'm here to support everything that you're going to be doing. And as I said, I also have a plan for you. So,
I was screaming, don't kill me. But yeah, no, for real. Thanks for your vulnerability today.
Thank you.
Guys, like I said, I'm going to put Mona-Lxsa's socials and all the. I didn't even introduce her, but that's Mona-Lxsa, you know now, innit? Like, just come vibe with us, like I said in the intro. But yeah, lovely having you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys.